One of President Obama's biggest opponents in the Senate says Republicans will not try to impeach the president over his new immigration policy, but does say Congress is going to use its power over spending to limit the plan. The president is signing his new policy today. The White House estimates it will keep about 5 million immigrants from being deported. Republicans say they'll work in Congress to block the president's plan from working.
We will not stand idle as the president undermines the rule of law in our country and places lives at risk.
Some Republican ideas include shutting down the government, suing the president, or even cutting off funding to the agencies that would implement the president's plan. But on the other hand, immigrants are celebrating the substantial change in policy this evening.
And though the laws aren't changing, the enforcement is changing. News on 6 reporter Emery Bryan is live at the jail with that story. Emery?
And we're here because fewer immigrants are going to end up here in the Tulsa County Jail awaiting deportation. That does happen now when they are discovered through some sort of encounter with law enforcement.
Do so solemnly swear.
While this is the American dream for many immigrants, citizenship is still not possible for most undocumented people already living in America. Tulsa's groups that advocate for immigrants say the president's action, though, does the next best thing.
Thanks to this executive action, they're gonna be relief of not being deported should anything happen, at least for the next 3 or 4 years.
The change will stop the routine deportation of otherwise law-abiding people who came across the border illegally. In Tulsa, the biggest impact is expected to be on adults who started families here because the citizenship of their children now means the parents can stay. Lawyer David Sobel, who helps immigrants, notes the big difference between just being allowed to stay and becoming a citizen.
This does not give people status. And I think for some Americans, they're worried about that. But it is not a path to get their green card. It is not a path to get their citizenship.
Sobel expects to stay busy helping immigrants either start the registration process or use the new procedures to protect themselves from being deported.
There will be certain paperwork that they will have to do with the government in order to obtain the necessary paperwork to get a driver's license or to get their Social Security card.
Blanca Zavala says once the paperwork is in place, Tulsa will see many immigrants come out of the shadows.
It brings them hope and it brings them relief, that they're not going to be deported at least for a certain amount of time, until hopefully Congress takes action.
And now the sheriff's office here in Tulsa County is part of immigration enforcement. I talked to them just a few minutes ago, and they say that so far they've gotten no kind of new orders from Washington. So for them, as of today, it is business as usual, and they're waiting on further direction to come down from D.C. Emery Bryan, News on 6.